Welcome back to Wake Up America. I'm Alex Kramer alongside Betsy McCoy. Now, as we head into the predicted winter surge, the U.S. has reached the grim milestone of 800,000 COVID-19 deaths. This, as Dr. Anthony Fauci warns the American public, the Omicron variant is swiftly becoming the dominant strain in our country. Now, joining us right now to talk more about the latest COVID headlines, former U.S. Surgeon General and Associate Professor at Clinical Anesthesiology and IU School of Medicine, Dr. Jerome Adams. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Well, first, now we've reached 800,000 deaths, and medical experts are saying at this rate that 1 million U.S. COVID deaths is not too far away. However, when it comes to the Omicron variant, there's one death worldwide in the UK. What is the cause in this increase in deaths?
Well, really what we're seeing right now are the impacts of a terrible and really slow-rolling surge of Delta variant. That's what we're experiencing right now, and it's traumatizing our healthcare workers. I was in the hospital earlier this week, and I got to tell you, folks are just beat down. And they're beat down not because of the care that they're providing, but because they know, they can see that the majority of the people who are ending up in the hospital and dying are unvaccinated. These deaths could have been preventable, and that's what your viewers really need to understand. I don't care if you voted for Donald Trump. I don't care if you voted for Joe Biden. I'm a doctor, and I want you to be safe over the holiday season. And the best way to stay safe is to get vaccinated, get boosted, because the people who are dying, they didn't make that choice.
I'm triple jabbed. I believe in vaccines, so I'm with you, General. But let me ask you this. Thank you. Isn't it the case that all this discussion of the Omicron variant, which so far appears to be substantially less than deadly, is misleading us?
Well, that's a great question, and here's what I explain to people. This pandemic has been going on for 2 years now. Hospitals are overwhelmed. They truly are. I mean, my hospital where I work at, they recently called in the National Guard to help them with this Delta surge. And what we're really worried about is this Omicron variant could be the straw that broke the camel's back. So very quickly, and I know we're bad at math in this country, but the reality is if you have 1 million people and you have a virus that has a 1% death rate, that's 10,000 people that die. You could have a virus that has half the death rate, 0.5%, but if it's 4 to 5 times as contagious, and Omicron looks like it is, you could have 25,000 people die. So yes, Omicron looks like it could be milder, but it could be the straw that breaks the camel's back just because it is so much more contagious. And that's why it's so important that people protect themselves and not to worry so much about Omicron that they forget that we're in a Delta surge right now. That's what's hurting us right now. And Delta is still killing over 1,000 people a day.
And are our figures about Omicron misleading at this point? In other words, when we have a COVID fatality, how often is the test taken beyond the initial stage of identifying COVID to actually do the genetic sequencing to figure out whether it's Delta or Omicron or even some other newer variant we haven't named yet?
Well, I've got to tell you, you're on it this morning because you're asking all the right questions. And the United States is still far behind the rest of the world in terms of sequencing these viruses. We're doing a much better job than what we have done in the past. That has been ramped up. But the fact is, we are still flying blind compared to the rest of the world. And a lot of these positive cases we're getting still could be Omicron cases, and we don't know it. We're calling them Delta cases. As Dr. Fauci said, we're seeing things start to shift. But we know that the people that are in the hospital right now, the people that are dying right now, they're dying mostly from the Delta variant. And you can protect yourself against the Delta variant with a vaccine, with a booster. If you're 6 months out, please get boosted. I did. My wife did. I'm taking my two boys, 16 and 17, to get their boosters tomorrow because we want to be safe this holiday season. We don't want to be overburdening the hospital, even with a mild case potentially of Omicron.
Do you think we'll be lining up and getting boosters or some other name for a shot every 6 months or so for the foreseeable future as we face the new conditions of this virus?
I don't. I think what you're going to see in the beginning of next year is a strategy articulated to really settle us in to what we do with flu, where every year we look and we see, has this changed appreciably? Do we need to get a yearly shot? I think right now what you've seen is we're still building the plane as we're flying it. and we're still chasing after variants. We can't do that forever, and we won't do that for forever. I think once people get their third shot, and we always knew this was supposed to be a third shot, that we will settle into a routine of yearly boosters as long as this virus continues to circulate. And guess what, people? That's no different than what we did with flu. It's not a reason to freak out. We have the tools and the technology. What's a shame is we have 4% of the world's population, 15% of the world's reported deaths from COVID, despite having vaccines, despite having therapeutics. We need to use these tools to protect ourselves.
Alex?
All righty. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Jerome Adams, for all of that very useful information today. We really appreciate you coming on the show this morning.
And your service in the Trump administration.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And everyone, be safe this holiday season.
Merry
Talk
Christmas.
to your doctor, get your vaccine, get your booster, get your flu shot.
All righty. Thank you so much.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.